Perfect.
Where'd you go, Renee?
Oh, we lost Renee. Hi, guys.
Renee. Hi, Robin.
How are you, John? I think we are live. We are live. No one's here, but we are live. So John is supposed, is Renee supposed to be back in just a second? So welcome, everybody.
If we're live today, we're flying blind because I don't have the controls. Renee has them, and he disappeared as soon as he said live. So I don't know.
Well, Chad's here, so he's
there. He is.
Hi, Chad. How are you?
I clicked the go live button and then I kicked myself out.
That was awesome. This is like Laurel and Hardy show.
Yeah, that's funny.
Here you go.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, so I just need to share my screen, right? Whenever you're ready, you're going to go first and do your thing.
I'm not doing anything yet. No, I'll wait to the end.
Okay. So hi, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and start. Hi, Chad. Chad's here. So he's our audience. But for those of you who are going to log in later, I'm going to do the the bathroom guidelines up. Excuse me, and I pulled down the wrong ones. So give me a second. I have the wrong ones on my screen. I have the kitchen guidelines. Oh, I'm organized. I really apologize, you guys. Sorry. Give me a second.
And you got to share
that. If anybody else is out there, go ahead and say hello and let us know you're here.
I did end up putting this on the users of Facebook group, user chief architect, but
fabulous.
I need to do a little bit more than just having the event. I think I got to go in there and say, hey, it's happening.
A second, because I can't actually find the guidelines. So God, really bad organization, you guys. I'm so sorry that I don't have it right in front of me.
We should do a show about organization.
Yeah, which Robin doesn't have today.
Yeah.
That is really weird. Hang on a second. I'm still looking.
Chad says, well, there's somebody else. Okay.
Good morning. Oh, hey, Nikki. I know Nikki.
I've been getting hired lately to get OneDrive off of people's machines.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I wish I could get rid of it. You need to get it off of my computer. I hate it.
Speaking of organization, it is a pain.
You guys, I absolutely apologize. I can't find the presentation. I literally cannot find it. I have failed miserably. I am so sorry.
Well, you wrote the thing, so you should have known.
Just take a minute, Robin. Breathe deep. And Renee and I'll talk about something else for a while.
You guys talk among yourselves.
Coffee talk.
Oh my God.
I make that joke, Robin, and none of my friends get it.
Coffee. Yeah, talk among yourself.
Yeah.
So again, Renee, you're gonna have to post comments if you want to put some up. JT says that OneDrive's a virus, he thinks.
I think it's a virus too. I'll tell you what, I'm in agreement. I think it's just a terrible service.
I know what.
Yeah, you have to shoot it down with a registry fix. So the people I'm doing it for, I'm having to tell them, like, I am messing around with your registry. You need to have created a backup of your machine before I touch it, because
that's a real nightmare.
That's actually logging into the machine and deleting keys, basically. So
give me a second. I will have.
All right, this show has gone to a whole new level. We've got somebody here wanting pizza.
Oh my goodness! Give me a second. I'm so embarrassed. This is so bad.
It's getting to the end of the year too. You got to keep all this stuff tightened up, buttoned up.
Yeah, you know,
JT, we do use a Dropbox. Renee and I both do. I think Robin, you do too, don't you?
Yeah, I use Dropbox. I actually use Dropbox and Google Drive. I've been moving a lot of stuff to Google Drive. I really have been. It's been okay, you guys. I am so embarrassed. I'm
okay with Google Drive. All right, Robin. No more apologies. We got to talk while you're futzing around over there.
Just let us know when you got it.
Yeah,
I will.
I use Google Drive, but for me, the redundancy algorithm stuff for Dropbox to me there's nothing better than that. And
we're say that again in plain English.
Yeah, we're talking about when you are working on a file that's going to be syncing to the cloud in Dropbox, for instance, and you shut down your computer, and so maybe that file didn't completely sync, or maybe you left your computer running, and for whatever reason, Dropbox is caching all of your files. And so it's not syncing that file actively. Then you go to another machine or you go to another device and you try to work on that same file. Now you have a conflicted copy because the first copy never fully synced. Dropbox's ability to figure out which one to sync and version in a way that's comprehensive, I think, is comparable to none. Google Drive doesn't do as good of a job. And I like Google Drive other than that. But I'm someone that's working on multiple machines and switching back and forth. And so that one's big to me.
So I have some clients that use Google Drive. And I haven't spent the time to see if it'll do this or not, but can you, like with Dropbox, I never go to any place but Dropbox to open up a file, right? And then when I close it down, it goes right back into Dropbox.
Yeah.
And when I open a chief file, it puts a copy of it on my computer so I can work with it. Can I do that same thing with Google Drive?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to have to spend time talking about this to everybody. I'm going to apologize about, I can't find my presentation at all. So we are going to have to do this in 2 more weeks or go back and explain the situation with Google Drive that you're not happy with.
The only thing I don't like about Google Drive, it's not that I don't like it. It's just not as good as Dropbox for conflicted copy resolution where, and not only that, but if you have a file being locked, meaning you're using it, you're operating on a file, you're doing something with it, and Dropbox wants to force a sync to that file, okay? Or your cloud service rather wants to force sync that file that you have locked. And so it's like it's hitting a brick wall and it's trying to get through it and it can't get through it, right?
And this is Dropbox. Okay.
And so Google Drive, it has less going for it in terms of resolution of that issue. And so at some point it will just create a conflicted copy and append a suffix to the file name. And now you have a second copy and you don't necessarily know it's there. OneDrive is the worst at this. OneDrive tries for 5 minutes and then it writes this additional file, and that file might not be readable because it's added something to the name where the program might be looking for a specific name next time you open it up. So for instance, we used to have Chief Architect X16 and prior. By default, it was installed where your documents were on the documents folder, and the documents folder was syncing to OneDrive. And when you open up Chief Architect, it's locking your library, for instance. And so then if OneDrive suddenly decides to cache its files and it says, oh, I need to rewrite to this file, it was trying to rewrite your user library file, and it would try for 5 minutes, and then it would give up and say, all right, we're going to just write this file anyways, and we're going to put a -1 there. Well, next time you open up Chief Architect, it's not going to open up that -1. It doesn't even see it. So it's just this copy. Over time, it could get flip-flopped where all of a sudden the conflicted copy is the one where you updated your library and added a bunch of things. And then unbeknownst to you, you got a past copy and you didn't check it for a while. And suddenly you lost data and you don't know why.
And that's a OneDrive problem. So don't use OneDrive at all.
OneDrive is the worst culprit of that. Google Drive does a better job. Dropbox does a better job than Google Drive. So that's why I've always just stuck with Dropbox until they show me that they're problematic as well.
Chad says it also snowballs and uses up your memory.
I don't know about that, but yeah, who's got that experience?
Yeah. My experience with OneDrive, it seems like it's even worse when you're collaborating with people.
Yeah.
Not just between your own computers, but if you're collaborating, you end up with a whole nother set of issues.
I see JT's asking about AI classes. I'm actually, I was thinking about putting together a live video series on AI. I've got a lot to say about AI, and I have a lot to say about AI that should make people feel secure with their jobs and the economy. So I don't know if you guys want me to go off on that. I can.
You're going to have to, because we're ad-libbing as we're going along.
We're just winging it.
We are, because I absolutely don't have what information.
try to look at the camera a little bit. I don't have anything prepared for this. I just I watch my videos and I kind of see where people are fearful of AI and where it's headed, and obviously the economy is getting affected by it. There's layoffs, there's mass layoffs, but
Definitely.
we're kind of in this interim period. And to talk about AI, I have to explain some like base information about how it works. One is I think it's a tragedy that we're calling it intelligence. That's just a marketing ploy. It has
Exactly.
it's a probability algorithm. It has nothing to do with intelligence. It has no cognitive ability. It can't work out something logically. It is just probabilities. That's it. And the way that it builds its probabilities, and mind you, I'm going to say something incorrect about this. It's not going to be succinct and absolutely true. You'll be able to fact check this. And that's part of the problem with AI that I'll try to tie back into, if you guys remind me, is that we tokenize words. So when you type out a sentence to AI, you're asking it a question. What it does is it creates a token for all the words in that sentence. It's not just like it's logically interpreting your sentence. It's not. What it's doing is it's breaking up words and basically giving it, you know, a number, if you will, or code, if you will, and then it's running probabilities to understand what you might be saying based on piecing together those words
Sure.
in every probable way that it could think of piecing it together. And it will even take multi-syllable words and split them into multiple tokens. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to say minus, min and us. That would be two tokens. It's going to split that word and it's going to try to put it back together. The major inherent problem with the logic of AI is that you can easily create a loop where you have two conflicting parts of one instruction set. Here's my example. I'm going to say, I want an output from a sentence I'm going to feed you. The sentence I'm going to feed you is some word, the character space, a minus sign, the character space, some other word. And then beyond that, minus sign, some other word. Here's my instruction. Anything past character space minus character space, I want you to omit. Anything past minus sign, replace the minus sign with a space. Here's the problem. If you manage to follow that, you might get to rewind the show for once. Here's the problem. We just gave it two instruction sets, and because it breaks it up into individual words, it's not going to understand both instructions.
It's kind of like
But
Chief
Renee-
and the terrain tools in Chief.
But Renee, you're using it for
You're
programming.
not wrong. That's actually a great analogy, by the way.
Yeah.
Hold on, Robert. I want to say, what John just said, absolutely true. And I'm assuming you're talking about overlapping terrain data.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. Overlapping terrain data. We've got two conflicting issues in one presented problem. So AI does not know what to do with it. It creates a loop. So it's only going to follow one or the other of my issues. That's it.
But you're talking about the example that you used was more programming data, like because you're trying to get programming information. A lot of us are not using AI for that. For example,
but it's the same issue.
It's the same thing.
And yeah, it's the same exact issue. If you give it literally, it's broken in words to try to understand the probability for an outcome that might be the likely outcome you want. And so if you tell it, I'll give you another example. I asked a bunch of questions to diagnose my car in one, chat GPT thread or something like that. And then I switched gears. I didn't decide to do a new chat. I switched gears and I started talking about the state of investing in AI. And when I was done with talking about the state of investing in AI, and I predicted this would be the outcome for my next part here, I asked it to please ignore everything we were talking about with the car and give me a synopsis of everything that we talked about after the car. And I knew before I even asked that question that the fact that I had car in my question meant that it was going to go include all the stuff about the car. And because it's just running probabilities, he must be asking about the car part of this again and also wants a breakdown of the rest.
Well, but I think, so Renee, you use AI on a lot of for a lot of times. I don't. I use it. I used it a year ago to help write a class. I created a class. I spent probably 40 hours putting together an outline for this class. It was a custom furniture design class, and I knew what I wanted to be included in the class. So I had done a whole lot of work. So then I put into ChatGPT, create an 11-week college course for residential interior design program on custom furniture design. Include the following. So I said, include the following: principle and elements of design, ergonomics, sustainability, repurposing furniture, upholstery, foam. I had like 5 more things in there. And I said, okay, write this class. And it wrote an 11-week class for me. Some of it was crap, and some of it was like a nightmare. This didn't relate to this week, and the weeks were all screwed up, but whatever. So
But you could have refined that.
Oh, no. So hold on.
Okay,
But let me tell you what I ended up doing is that then I ended up taking that information and spending time on it, reassembling it, putting in some field trips that I knew we were going to do. Anyway, it helped me consolidate, and we ended up having really decent lecture topics, right? Beginning lecture topics. Anyway, then I knew what I wanted my students to have as a final project at the end. And I knew that they were going to create a scaled model of a piece of furniture. And we knew we were going to use Makerspace. And I knew all this stuff about it, right? And I had it take that and then break it into 5 steps. So I knew the final project. And I said, break this into 5 steps. Anyway, it ended up giving me a really good outline that I was then able to give to an instructor who is going to teach it, who then spent time modifying it. But, a lot of people are not using AI on a regular basis. We don't use it every single day. And there's a problem with using it every single day, because every time you use AI, even if you use AI on your phone, you're using up 1 bottle of water. And the amount of electricity that is being used sustainably, it's not.
You're getting way off the path of my discussion here.
No. But those things are things that people need to pay attention to.
All right.
And AI is a tool that we should have. And I'm fearful of it in certain ways, of being completely 100% dependent on it. But on the other hand, we should be paying attention to it as far as the sustainability and what it is doing to our economy. So I do believe that it's a tool that we should use. We shouldn't be 100% reliant on it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's my point.
I'm going to bring this.
Be trusting it every time you use it.
You're what? Say that
You shouldn't
again?
trust it every time you use it. Just because it says something doesn't mean it's correct.
You are so right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm going to bring this back to what I wanted to kind of focus on with it, which was job security, future security, where we're at, where we're going to be. And I want to mention something that's happening right now is I think AI came too early. I don't think we had enough data. I think we jumped the gun. And so because we don't have enough data, we've run out of data pools. The data that we have accessible and abundantly in the market is media. So pictures and videos, that's going to continue to improve up into a point. For one, it recreating videos of people, live models, etc. It simply does not have the data sets for the mass quantity of different facial structures and facial gestures that people have. So
not now. No, it doesn't.
Not now.
But you're going
to run out. You're going to run out. Well, that's because people are taking it out of true AI function and making programmatic changes. They are programming in things in lieu of not having data. And so like the compounded effect of how fast it's moving right now, it's going to slow down because it will run out of data. The other thing is to get that amount of data, we simply don't have the servers for it either. So I see the industry, slowing down. They're building like crazy. I mean, blue collar people that, are in micro center stuff, chip silicone stuff, fiber optic stuff, power infrastructure, all that stuff. Those markets are going to keep going up. So I think we're going to hit like a slowdown here. I really think everybody's job is secure, especially for those AI to home design stuff. I'm not worried about that for a very, very long time, especially because so much of it's regional. And it's like, build me a house for Wisconsin, and it's going to have like a low slope roof with a bunch of crickets, and you're going to have snow piles just punching through the roof lines and frost issues and all kinds of stuff.
Well, there's always bad design and people who are going to
Yeah.
rely on that. I mean, there's a lot of people who are going to use it to think that, I mean, we have people today. My nephew, who I adore to death, he's like the most smartest guy in the world. He's an engineer. Okay, I know I just said everything I needed to say about him, but he decides he said to me the other day, he's going to build his ADU because it's not that hard being a contractor. This was at Thanksgiving, I literally wanted to smack him. He's an engineer and he's in his 20s and I adore him to death, but I'm like,
does he realize he has to work with people to do that?
You know what? I worked with him on his kitchen remodel and I learned a lot about him. At a certain point, I just had to say, wow, you need to stay in your lane, Renee. Oh my God, so sorry.
I was due for one of those.
Oh yeah, it was an interesting conversation. Anyway, I do think that there's a lot of people out there who are going to think that AI is going to do everything for them. And that I think but those are the people that are going to do it themselves, because being a designer can't be that hard and being a contractor isn't that hard. So that's not really going to affect our quality of work. Those people are going to come back to us the second time and go, wow, I screwed up. Right.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lull that just returns. And I actually feel like that for anything. I mean, we already see all the markers of something that was produced by AI. It feels flat and dead, and there's just something a little off, right? Mm-hmm. And the other thing I was going to talk about is like just AI, even in the market of customer support and service. Mm-hmm. Like the inherent problem with AI versus human interaction is humans use all the wrong terms. They don't describe their issue correctly. They think the issue is something else that has nothing to do with their actual issue. And they can't communicate it logically at all. And it takes a human on the other line to get them to the logic of their issue. I mean, that's probably more common than someone actually calling and with succinctness using, precise words describing their problem in life. And so, and AI is just working with, something's wrong with this statement. Like maybe they mean this. And I really just feel like it's going to return back to, because companies are replacing people with AI right now. And I think it's going to return back.
Chris 1111 just said that he said recent commercials with AI. So he believes actors are at risk. That's why they went on strike a few years ago. Actors and writers, they went on strike for those reasons. I think
to some extent, we're going to have a period where they are at risk. And then I think it's just going to return where we're just like, we're dying for something that is not.
It depends. It depends upon our legal system. And that's a whole nother can of worms, and we're not going to go there. But at a certain point, there's going to be regulation. And right now it's running wild with no regulation. And that's where we're going to have regulation on it at a certain point. And that's just kind of where we're going to have to be, because right now it's running wild.
Yeah.
But again, it's a tool. And I think that if we use it appropriately and we use it sparingly, we don't use it every single day, and we use it to support things. Like I write most of my emails. I write like 95% of my emails, but when I have something that is a really complicated concept that I need to make sure that I'm saying it as politically correct as possible, then I'm going to take what I wrote and I'm going to ask AI to make it a little bit better, or don't be as firm as I am, because I can be a little harsh in my writing, and tone it down, or make it a little bit more firmer than I'm writing it. Then then that's where I will use AI, but I use it maybe once every other week. I mean, I don't use it on a daily basis. So I think it's a tool that we as designers can use. And you use it a lot because you're always writing, you're doing programming. I mean, you
for
are
all
totally
kinds of
using it.
I could do a breakdown of what I'm using for currently. I use it to it will extract transcripts from my videos and then create chapters and then create description and tags and the social posts that I always end up editing the social posts. But that's one thing.
Speaking of your most recent social posts, I do have to give you, for those of you, this is a segue into Renee's video, the video that you did on the curved cabinet and the soffit piece.
Yeah.
I used it in class and we ended up
cool.
having, but we broke it down. We really talked a lot. I had written your instructions. When I watch Renee's videos to everybody, I watch it probably 5 times, writing every instruction down first.
Okay.
Because you always make, you go, oh no, don't do it this way, do it like that, right? So I write down all of the things and I get everything all written down and then I practice it and then I watch it again. But that's but it's great. And we used it in class and we ended up having that really great conversation that you had with me when we were in Idaho about each tool in chief. I know we're going totally off, that I'm totally talking off. But
Sure.
for those who are listening, this was an amazing conversation I had with Renee. This is like the best thing ever. We were talking about this programmer for, he's a modeler for Chief. And he said, he was talking about a steel construction he was doing and that every single time he had to remodel the steel beam. Because anytime there was a change, obviously we know we have to have that, there's all these details to it. And I'm like, I think you should be able to model that in Chief. And he said, no, you can't. So this is the best part. You hang out with Renee and I said, can you do that? And he said, yeah. So he started talking to me about what each tool does in Chief, what each tool does. And this was amazing. So I'm like, well, it's not a window. It's not a cabinet. It's not stairs. And he started saying, well, think about something that you can move individual parts on it. And we ended up coming with railings. And it was like, oh my God. And Renee can create a steel beam. And you know how you have to change, anytime you make a change, you have to change the holes that are going to be put in there. It was the coolest conversation about Chief that I had. And it was so much fun to just sit and listen to how you think about how each object works.
I guess
so. Renee is AI. So for somebody who actually said
this conversation for a second, because I'll come back to AI. I'll just quickly say what I use AI for mainly now, so that people just can think about that, and maybe that'll catch up to the comments. And then I'll switch to something. I want to talk about Home Designer for a second. But AI right now, I use what's called Cursor AI, and that's on my machine. And Cursor AI, I've mentioned this before, but it can read and write files. And so,
yeah, Renee, it's showing in. Nikki says that it's showing in portrait mode. Can you change it to landscape?
Showing in portrait.
Our screen is showing, video is displaying in portrait mode, so everything you're sharing is on screen. It's very tiny. Is there a way to switch to landscape mode?
He's got this simulcast Instagram thing.
Oh.
I don't know what that is about. You're not seeing my screen on the right-hand side. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Maybe that'll be it. Vicky, I'm sharing my screen right now. Maybe you're not seeing that. So let's just switch it back to us on screen. I have this Cursor AI has access to the API keys of my Google account, so it can read through my emails and it could read through my calendar. And so that to me is huge, because I can go, hey, show me everything I sent to Rigby Fisher and tell me what I quoted her on some projects and list them all. And it'll just do that for me. So that's a big one. I have it running my budgets. I have it running investments for me, just tracking investments. I have it running contracts. It has a list of 20 main contracts that I use. And so it will put together a new contract for me. And then based on, just what I tell it in a few sentences, I have it looking at the config files for my mouse and my keyboard and multiple applications. so that I can tell it, hey, I want in application A, I want you to change it so that it's doing this with this button on my mouse. And so I don't actually have to go in and do that in the program and do that to the mouse. It'll just assign that for me because it's got access to the root files of those devices. I have it managing, blogs and a schedule of blogs. I have it will figure out a really complex hotkey established thing that I'm doing where it figures out if there's some kind of conflicting hotkey across all programs that I use so that it knows which ones to use and how to put them together.
Wow.
So I've got a bunch of stuff, and then I build, programs. It's just I have all these ideas about programs I think we need, and so I'm just building prototypes. So and then it does my taxes and it does all the coding for my website and all kinds of stuff. So that's all kind of the stuff I'm doing with AI. And then what I wanted to say was I wanted to switch gears because you mentioned something that made me think about the home designer line. If no one knew this, home designer line 2026 just switched to a subscription model. And I know I would guess that everybody in here is a chief premier line person, but it's interesting to know that because you're getting an idea of where the company is headed.
Sure.
And they also switched to giving the home designer line, anyone that purchases it and on an annual basis gets almost like a 50% discount versus month to month, which to me tells you they're saying, hey, we've got people that just want to use this software every once in a while. So we're going to charge you more. And then we have people that are trying to make Home Designer be a professional tool. And now we're going to stick you on this annual subscription. If you get the annual subscription, you get access to all the catalogs, which is the first time for them. And then, and they get SSA, they get ray trace for the first time ever. They don't have access to bump and normal maps, but they get access to the catalog. So they have some, ray trace materials in there. And then just a small list of other things. And the Home Talk is similar to Chief Talk. So that's Home Designers Forum built by Chief Architect versus Chief Talk. Home Talk, you got people in there that are really irate that were hobbyist people that used the Home Designer line.
But
that's
you can probably count on one hand the number of apps that you would use that you can actually get without a subscription now. Right? Everybody's going to subscription.
Oh,
yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I kind of understand it,
Yeah, and I don't think I have an app that I use that I can think of that I pay for and I get forever.
Yeah. I saw a bunch of comments that was like, this is a cash grab and they're greedy. And I'm like, this doesn't make them more money. I think it's quite the contrary. But it does,
what
guarantee
it does
an understanding of their net coming in before they start their development cycle. Because I think nowadays they probably have to do exactly what Apple does, which is develop 2-3 versions out.
Right. Well, I think what it's doing is there's a few designers that I've worked with who started out using Home Designer and then realized it can't do all the things they want to. Yeah. So they end up switching to Chief. And it's probably like it's a gateway drug. It's like a gateway drug, right? It's let's get more people to try it. And then, JT, you can call us. JT Design One. He says he really uses SSA calling all the time since he can't use you guys. You can call us.
So
you can call us.
So Dan told us to tell everybody what we do on this show. So maybe this is a good time for that. So Renee, why don't you tell everybody what you do, what you have for sale, that kind of stuff.
What we do. Okay. Yeah. I do a bunch of different weird stuff. I'm a designer. So I'll do full scope design, be it interior, kitchens, baths, you name it. I design additions. I've been designing new construction more just in the last 2 years. But mainly my game is remodels. I get hired a lot for what I call infill design and drafting. So I do a lot of the middle work of someone else's draft set or design. I do a lot of live design. I'm fast enough in the software that I will sit with a designer and go through the design live on a call. That gets stuff done really fast, and it's very enjoyable. But that's really for someone that instinctually has a lot of directives on what they want to do with the space. That works well for them. I do training, and I've been taking on more beginners, but that's all the way up to the power users and people that want to get really wild with Chief and other things. And then lately I've been doing stuff outside of Chief, which is on, file organization, cloud integration stuff, project management type things, integrating into CRM stuff, doing stuff with like data sheets, CSV, any kind of automation, any kind of systems building. I've got a lot of cabinet builders that want to build systems. So anyways, I feel like I'm hogging the air. Go ahead.
Well, and I do training for beginners in Chief, beginners and intermediate people in Chief. And I am a designer, but I'm not, I can work with people on that. I'm a kitchen about designer, certified master of kitchen about design. But yes, but most of my job is full-time education now. So I do work with people, working with them to help you. If you have new people in the program that you are working with that need to learn how to do Chief, then I work with people like that. And Dan,
Renee, you didn't talk about your store and stuff that you sell, did you?
Oh no, I don't. I didn't. Yeah, I spend 3 months out of the year developing templates and library items. That's a solid 3 months that I spend on that. So that is now a crowd-funded thing. It's become a passion project. The community really drives that forward. Man, do they make me feel like it's worth it, and it's fun, and it pays off. So it's really interesting to see that. So I've got a very popular template package that I think is reasonably priced. And then I'm converting it for metric. And then after that, I'm converting it for metric and Spanish. And I've got a partner on that. No.
Cool.
Renee doesn't sleep, you guys, just so you know. I think JT said that too. Renee doesn't sleep.
I'm really excited for the Spanish thing because I don't know. I just find that fascinating. I'm curious to learn some new stuff. So yeah.
Cool. And I do basically the same thing that Renee and Robin do, training people, helping troubleshoot plans. I have 2 other people working with me that we are subcontractors for other companies. We became their in-house design and or drafting. So that's been fun, collaborating with some different companies to do that kind of stuff. So we're all available to help. And you can always find us or get a hold of us going through Dan's Chief Experts if you need to find us the first time, how to get a hold of us. So you can go there. And Dan also wanted us to mention that we have a class coming up, Dan and I, in Minneapolis. I believe it's January 10th. You can go to chiefexperts.com to find out about that. January 10th in Minneapolis. It will go till the 13th. No, the 11th to the 14th. Wow. January 11th to the 14th. 12th to the 15th. Yeah.
For those of you who also haven't checked out Renee's videos, I did turn my students on in class to your channel and to your Facebook page, so that way users of Chief Architects, so that way they can see your videos that you post there.
Nice.
So if you need really great little videos, you talk really fast, so I really recommend you need to watch them a few times. You have to watch them a few times. Renee goes very, very fast.
You can change the speed. You change it to 1.5, and I'll sound like this.
You still are going fast, but they're great. I do recommend them, definitely.
Yeah, well, I feel like I only want to make videos once I got the brain really moving. At that point, there's no, derailing that train.
They're really great. Those of you who haven't watched the newest video, the curved cabinet one, he actually,
the arch cabinet,
the arch cabinet, you ended up giving away like the freebie stuff. It was really fun. I loved it. making a wall first, making it as a window. So he started out, for those of you, and I geek out on this because I truly, honestly spent about 3 hours on that video this week.
Here, we'll do it right now.
He started with a 24-inch wall, one-piece wall, and it was great. Nikki, this one was about 28 minutes, but it was great.
Let's see. So, because I just got a question, how do you build a cabinet that's got an angled top for underneath the staircase? And and it's the same approach. It's the exact, I mean, you could even take the same file that I provide. I provided a file in that video, right?
Yep, you did.
Yeah, okay. So you can open up an interior wall and set its thickness to, say, 24 inches thick, for instance, and this will represent the cabinet box. So we're going to throw a window in here, and we'll make it a fixed window. And then let's open this window up. That's 4-foot wide window. Let's say it's fixed glass. And what I do with this one, we're going to place this under a staircase, is place your stairs and then open your stairs, whatever they are, and note the rise angle, 30.25. Okay. And so with that rise angle, then I'm going to make this a gable end wall, just so that we're sure we've got some kind of slope happening that's in line with this window. All right. Let me delete this outside wall. I'll make this gable. And what I'm going to do,
this wall, you made this wall a single layer wall. It wasn't, there's no.
I did, and that was just to stop from confusion in the video, but you don't need it to be a single layer wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the roof pitch to be a pitch in degrees and make it 30.25, which is the exact same rise as the staircase. Right? And so then we get to come into this window and we get to say in the shape panel, match roof.
All the roof.
So now we're making that general shape. We get rid of the casings, right? We really just want to get rid of the sash. You turn this thing around, what does that look like? It looks like a cabinet box. So
and
that becomes,
if you want a face frame on it, you just put a frame on it and casing.
You put the casing back on it if you want. You just put a square casing on it.
It's brilliant.
You'd want to go to the general panel and say separate trim and materials on each side so that we could turn that casing off on one side.
Change your offset, your reveal offset. So it's not giving you reveal
0-inch reveal, make this a square, etc. The other thing I want to mention, and I just did this to my own library the other day, is I'm oftentimes just looking for a square or a round or pipe or cylinder or all that stuff. If you didn't know it, you can always go into any library item and add search attributes so that you find this casing easier when you're just looking for square, add rectangle, add cube, add anything that might come to your head when you're looking for a certain profile. I just did that to look for square so that now when I search square, I actually find it in my catalog very quickly. I'm like, square, yes, thank you.
You had to save it to your library first, right?
I did. I like having control over it. That way there's no potential of it being overwritten and some standard being overwritten or something like that. But
sure.
So this looks like your cabinet box. And then the next steps just means that you're going to end up converting this item to a cabinet door and changing it the offset so that it applies on the back side of a cabinet that has no box. So yeah, I would go say watch the rest of that video, but this is how you would do an angled cabinet versus an arched cabinet.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you.
All right, sweet. I think is this the point where I get to mention my little sister's thingy?
Yes.
I don't even know where the heck that is. I got to figure out how to find the. John, you want to talk for a second? I'm going to figure out how to find the link for it. Perfect. I got the link.
Got it. Good job.
That was awesome.
I'm going to drop this in the comments. I don't use my social groups for personal use. I mean, almost never. You know, I've got the users of Facebook group. It's got 15,000 people in there. Other people break more rules than I do in that group, and I just say that to say that this one's important to me, and I asked for permission from Dan in the group about this to see if it was on brand or not. I'm going to drop this in the comments. This is a GoFundMe, and this is for my little sister's dog. We just found out that this little Chihuahua, who is just my sister's world, she's 30 years old. She's 31 years old, and she's had this dog for 9 years. So a lot of her adult life, and it means the world to her. And this dog has a benign, now 3 centimeter tumor in her stomach. And that dog is it's a little Chihuahua with a golf ball in it, basically. And she's in the surgery operating room today. So, and it's an extremely expensive operation, and there was no question that she was going to get it done. And she's just a broke little 30-year-old kid. And if you feel like helping out, that's all I'll say about it. I'd appreciate it. I will say, if you donate, shoot a message to me, because I plan on giving out a digital package for anyone that felt like donating. I don't care how much it is, $5, $2. I don't even care. I'll give you a digital package. Let's make it be fun. Part of that digital package is going to be a 3D model of little Amaya, who is in that GoFundMe, and I appreciate it. And thank you.
Oh, that's really cute.
Great.
All right, we got to kill air for 15 minutes still.
Well, we should probably talk about the academy. Would probably be a good idea.
Oh,
She
Pro
thinks
Academy?
Academy.
How many
Pro
people? It
Academy.
would be really interesting to find out how many people are in the academy, are using the Pro Academy. Yeah. You can't get to his website, right? So that's
Yeah.
actually just to talk about it. There's an open. It's open, and there's no wait list to get into the academy right now.
Right.
Okay.
And we've met 5 times, 5 days, I guess. We do, I think it starts at 9. We do an hour and a half of just kind of what we do on the show here, but you get to interact verbally with us, with Dan and I. I've been on everyone. Dan's been on everyone. I've been on everyone so far. Then the second block of time, I think, starts at 11 to 12:30 or something like that. Dan's doing a specific teaching. He's to train something is his goal. The afternoon session may be chief related. It may be business related, design business related. Might have Robin on there sometime talking about something, or other guest speakers in the afternoon. And then right now he's also been doing an evening one for our friends overseas, so that they can get on during the day, or people that work during the day and can't get on during the day can get on and have an hour and a half there.
You getting a few people overseas?
That's
I
awesome.
can't remember if anybody's been on the evening ones yet, but I mean, that's definitely there for them. What else was I going to say? Oh, they're all recorded, so you have access to all the recordings for them. Dan posts them right away, and then I think his intention is to go back and clean them up a little bit and then repost them. And they're all so that you can click on a spot or find a time in the video to go find something. So it's a really good value for what you're getting. I mean, you get Mike has been on there before, and I think it was him that mentioned it's like going to a one-day boot camp, because you get like, what is it, 6 to 7 hours of training in that one day.
It's crazy the amount of time you get involved in it, and it's a big deal. It's a lot. It's like almost the entire Wednesday, right? Once a month. Is that what it is?
Twice a month, first and third Wednesday of the month. I think this month there's only going to be one, and then pick it up again after the first of the year for 2 times a month. I think he's guaranteeing 20 of those days a year. So there'll be, during the summer, there'll be a couple weeks we take off, and in the fall around this time, a couple of days to take off.
That is some dedication.
Yep. And then he hasn't done it yet, but some impromptu meetings every now and then too are on the board. So Yeah, so it's been a good time. There's been about 10 to 12 maybe, something like that per time. So you get some potential for some one-on-one time, basically. So, or get your questions specifically answered.
Nice.
It's a good process. It's a great
Yeah.
program to be involved in if you really want to increase your knowledge of the program. I mean, come on, this is a really deep program, and we all use it differently, right? I mean,
Oh, I'm still
it's
finding
great.
stuff I've never seen before. I did one the other day
Absolutely.
too. Forgot to write it down
Well,
though.
I love it when I'm teaching something in class and my students will say, "Oh, well, if you push this button, it'll work." It's like, who knew that button was there? You
Yeah.
know, that's the thing. And the thing that I learned more about hanging out with you guys and learning about the program, the thing that I love the most about what Dan has always told me is push a button. You have 50 undos. Seriously, how
Go
much
ahead.
can you mess
Just try
something
it.
up when you
Right.
have 50 opportunities to make a mistake?
Yep.
Hey,
Speaking of
Jamal,
buttons, look
can
at this.
oh
So
yeah, that's a
strictly an
really good
icon
one.
package available of all chief icons. If you, I could tell you where it is on a PC. I do not remember on a Mac. On a Mac, you would go to preferences and folders, and then look up the directories there, and you want the program data folder. But on a PC, you can go to program files, Chief Architect X17, resources, and then buttons, and that's where all the icons live.
You might need to say that one more time.
And then
It's on a PC. Do
Jamal,
it one more time.
I'm going to make people rewind
Yeah,
our
you have to
videos.
rewind and watch it again.
You got to rewind. You rewound this, didn't you? You rewound it. Thank you.
I did. I rewind. Well, yours because you talk so fast. Jamal, I don't know if I can put my. I don't know that I can put my email address in there. But if you want to email me, can you put that in, Renee? My email address.
You can also go find it on Chief Experts. All that
Yeah,
contact
go to Chief
information is
Experts
there.
and you'll get my email address. And Jamal, I would be absolutely happy to chat with you about that.
I see, John, you help someone with the dormer in real time. That's because he is the dormer wizard.
Wow.
John, I've gotten better at dormers, and
Yeah.
I credit you. That's yeah.
Well, I was doing one the other day and it was kicking my butt, so I changed it up.
Well, you know what's interesting is on Facebook, and I'm not usually on Facebook very much, but somebody was talking about, you know how you do a dormer and then that stupid little triangle doesn't fill in? Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And I have had issues with it, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And on the Users of Chief Architect Facebook page, everybody was saying, oh yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Just like give it a rest. Tell your clients it's not going to look like that.
Well, you can fix it, but
give up.
Yeah, just give up.
Send them a picture of a dormer. It's fine.
Well, you could just say it's ventilation. You need ventilation in there, so it's a good thing.
Right.
Exactly.
I'll show you a trick. I'm going to set it up right now real quick. This one's for Robin because I know you're going to love this one. Actually, let me just share my screen right now. I feel like I already had my shared screen.
This comment about today, I was today years old when I found the hatch tool. That's one of mine and Dan's favorite things is when we're in a live class and you show somebody something like that. Oh man,
what's the hatch
in there? The hatch tool for the walls.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you're talking about okay,
putting a hatch in the walls for like an insulation wall or something like that.
Yeah, I use that on my demo plans.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I always do.
I love it when you show somebody something and they've been using it for a long time. It's like, how long has that been there? It's always been there.
Yeah, it's always been there. Yeah, that's the worst.
But I get that too. Sometimes I'll look at something. It's like, how long? I didn't know that button was there.
Yeah, when I'm doing demo plans, I'll come in here, bam, hatch tool, drop a little note, and bam. There you go.
It's great. Yeah.
Remove that wall. I love the hatch tool. I wish they would expand its capabilities. I was going to show you this, Robin, because I know your students run into this problem, and I know you've run into this problem is, here we go. Here's a 3D view. This tile looks great. And then we switch to those elevation views where it's vector. And what the heck? That's not the tile we picked, right?
Right.
And you probably at this point taught them how to come into the texture panel and
Yes.
sit here and count the number of tiles, right? So
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and figure out, divide this by 13, what the size of this thing is. It's inch and a 15/16, whatever, and revert it back. But the big one for me is we have a new tool where if in the adjust materials property, and I made a video about this so you can go watch it on my channel, but this keep pattern, texture, and sync, when you finally have the pattern matching the texture, so let's just say that it does for an example's sake. Let me change this to, oops. Let's just say it's close enough. If that's unchecked, if you turn on the method of line drawing over texture, so that just turned on the line drawing, okay? We switch this to standard view with a line over. So there's the lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you use the new tool Chief Architect gave us, this guy right here, you can move.
Tool? Oh,
It's
yes.
the interactive material editor. That is
Right.
in
3D.
Adjust
in 3D.
Materials Interactive Material Editor.
Okay.
Okay. You click on your texture in whatever scope you want. I'm in plan mode, and you get to move that texture. Well, notice because this material has keep texture and pattern synced is unchecked, it's not going to move the pattern with the texture right now, which means I can get this
Line it up.
lined up here. And once I've got it lined up and I'm ready, then I'd go back into this, check keep pattern and texture in sync. And then next time I go and try to move that around, it will move that pattern with the tile.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, and
And
that's
then
one
it shows up in 2D.
yeah, we used to have to guess at that like a million times over just to try to get that all lined up. So yeah,
That's
there's
great.
my little designer tip. I run into that with all the interior design people. That I love it too when people were like, I put in the pattern 2 and 6 and it's not a 2 and 6 inch pattern in the 3D view, and they don't understand that there's no real true correlation between the two.
Right. That's great. But it's not lining up. If you look at the top, you have an extra line in there at the top and in the bottom.
Oh, well, because I didn't actually put the right dimensions in
You
there.
didn't put the right size in, right? Okay.
I don't know what size this tile is.
Yeah, it looks like that tile from Bedrosian.
Maybe I'll go
Or the really expensive stuff from Ann Sachs.
This is one of those like 3D ones that's like some of them are 3D and some of them aren't.
Yeah, it's a great tile. Bedrosian has that. That's really cool.
Or is it like a wow tile? Probably. I don't know. I like that.
Well,
company.
we did really well covering by chatting just about a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And can you believe we already have just one more show for 2025?
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about that. That's where we are now.
Yeah, and it only took me to now to actually putting it in my calendar for every first and third Friday.
Nicely done.
I just figured out how to do that. I feel like we should share these kind of tips. I had no idea you could do that. I couldn't do I couldn't do first and third Friday, but I could do every first Friday as one event and every third Friday as another event.
There you go.
Yes, I think that's what it has to be done.
Yeah. Man, there's so many life skills you got to know to be in this industry. It's crazy. I mean, we got to manage all kinds of stuff.
You know, it's so funny. I love it when finals week is next week. So my students are literally blowing up, right? And they're taking like 3 studio classes and then maybe an academic class. So they have 3 big projects. And, of course, they're learning in the whole bit. And I don't have a lot of empathy for them because I'm like, in the real world, you're going to be running 20 jobs at a time.
Yeah, it's going to get harder.
Easily 20 jobs. And when I tell them that, their brains just go, how do you do it? Well, then you have to explain, you're not all at the same level, right?
Yeah.
But 20 jobs, right? I mean, that's pretty realistic. Most of us run between 15 and like 25 jobs, depending upon the size of your business. You know, you're in talking about you haven't signed a contract yet, or you just signed the contract, you're just in design, it's just in each different phases. And then some of them you're waiting to do photography. So some of them are
Right.
like at the ends, and they're not really.
Some of us
bugging you,
do
but
the photography.
Then of course you do your photography.
You
Yeah.
know, and then I do the post edits, and then I put together the pamphlet, and
Yeah.
I actually want to mention another AI. My good friend Melissa Nunes, who's another designer that uses Chief, she came by the house yesterday, and we hadn't visited in a while, and we hadn't worked side by side in a while, and we were talking about AI, and she's like, I use this one called Recall. Now I haven't checked this out yet, but she was talking about it. And Recall AI is just supposed to be able to take everything that you've ever told it as context and information for the next thing that you might tell it, including like even sending like Instagram posts to people and stuff like that. Like it can somehow just, so if you're someone like me that doesn't remember the thing I said 5 minutes ago, I'm gonna go check it out. I might buy it. There's a free version. But
Well, that's
You wanna make
encouraging
a
to
list
know,
of how much
Renee, that's encouraging to know, Renee, that you don't remember things you said 5 minutes ago, because I feel the same way. But
But John, you're old, and Renee's not.
so thanks, Robin. So I'm looking for something like
Love
that
you,
that's going to
John.
give me a synopsis of everything I said all day, even though I don't want something listening to me all day.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, because next show maybe I'll have some info and share my experiences with it.
I'm looking at Vicky's comment here. It's encouraging to know that there are things in Chief that even you guys don't know were there.
Oh yeah.
God.
I mean, they sneak
I don't
in.
think there's anybody. I don't
Nobody
think there's
knows
anybody,
everything.
even people at Chief don't know the full
No.
capability of this program.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Vicky, Vicky, you could sit with us and show us something that we don't know, because everybody uses the program so differently.
Yep.
Everybody uses the program so differently, and you're amazed, right? It's such a huge program. That's the thing that's so much fun about it, is because every time you use it, you learn something new. Yeah. You should see my schedules. I was working with somebody yesterday. I know we're over, but I was showing somebody how to do schedules yesterday, and I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do it like that. And I love schedules. Schedules are my happy place. I hate writing specs, and Chief's schedules.
Oh, you want to see something you didn't know you could do in schedules? I'll show you something.
Let's see this. I've been putting my URLs in my schedules, and my contractors are so thrilled, because all my specs are right inside my schedules.
Well, and if you print a PDF that has a URL and it's an addressable URL, most PDF readers will click on it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I didn't know until this year that you can write macros into your schedules. So, for instance, I want you to notice that the heading of my schedule column is going to be info, but I put a macro in here that says, hey, this is actually where the input for this particular bit of information is coming from, but this is what's going to display in the schedule. And that executes. And I had no idea that that was true until this last year. Something else is that for these schedule columns, I can even make it so that if my plan name has -AB in it for as built, then my schedule heading would be like demo. But if it says -N in it, then it says, floor notes. And like, I didn't know that was possible. And that is, and that's pretty slick, because you get to just use, one template for both functions. And then the actual heading changes.
Renee is king of macros. I want to know what a Dolly Parton fish is. Somebody needs to tell me what a Dolly Parton fish is.
A Dolly Parton fish?
Yes, a paracad. Oh, is it Mike? You
Yep.
changed your name.
No,
Right,
he's got a couple different ones he shows up with.
Got it. I want to know what a Dolly Parton fish is. I didn't know there was. Or he's just teasing.
Dolly Parton's.
I don't know if it's if it's a fish.
I think he's just talking about Dolly Parton.
Did he correct it already? Is it Varden?
Varden. Dolly
Varden a
Varden.
fish?
Okay. It is Varden.
There you go, AI.
Two different ways. Okay, you guys. We kept
He's
you all
talking that
long
in.
enough. Thank you guys for staying and listening. This was a great conversation.
It was fun.
Everybody have a great day.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.